Hi, I'm Dani. I was diagnosed with functional neurological disorder, FND, on July 27th, 2021. I started experiencing symptoms in April the same year, so April 2021. It took me, if I'm doing my maths correctly, it took me 3 to 3.5 months to get diagnosed. I know a lot of people have to wait a long time to get diagnosed, so I am grateful I got diagnosed sooner rather than later. But when I saw my first neurologist in May of 2021, I brought up FND because I was talking about my symptoms online and people were messaging me saying, "You probably have FND, look into FND." So I did some research, and to me, it looked like I had FND. So when I saw him, I was talking to him about FND, and he basically said that I was faking my symptoms and it was anxiety related. So when I did get diagnosed, my parents were quite shocked and they felt really bad. But it is what it is, and I'm just glad I got diagnosed and I didn't have to wait more than a year or 2 years. My main symptoms fluctuate, so I can have a couple of weeks when my seizures are constant, but then 2 weeks later I can have really bad FND pain in my legs and in my arms, and then it can change into a lot of verbal and motor tics. So my symptoms do fluctuate, so I don't really have a main symptom because, as I said, my symptoms fluctuate every couple of weeks. Right now I'm just experiencing a lot of fatigue and a lot of pain in my legs, but that will probably change in the next 2 to 3 weeks. For 2.5 years, I did outpatient rehab physiotherapy. In February of this year, I got discharged. I have improved a lot. I'm slowly getting my independence back. They have really helped me a lot. I remember when I first got diagnosed. I got diagnosed in hospital because I came into hospital on July 25th paralysed because of FND, but at the time I didn't know it was FND. So they were really quick, the rehab physio team, to come and see me, and they got me walking as soon as I could. So I took my first steps 2 days after getting diagnosed, and that was the best feeling ever. I then was having constant physiotherapy as I had to learn how to get dressed again, eat, do all the normal daily activities that people can do without any problems. I struggled to do them. I struggled to walk upstairs. I struggled to run. March 12th, 2022 was the day I took steps to the point that it was the first day I could walk normally, and it was the best feeling ever. All my hard work paid off. So rehab physiotherapy has helped me a lot from July 27th all the way through February 2023, and I'm still doing the exercises at home because I want to be able to get my full independence back. I am reliant on my parents and my sister, especially when my symptoms are bad. But I try to be as independent as I can because I want to be independent, but it's not always easy. I think FND has affected my independence. I was never fully independent because I got diagnosed with other chronic illnesses before I got diagnosed with FND. But FND has really taken away my independence. At this current stage, I cannot get my driver's license because you have to be 6 months free of seizures in New Zealand. And I've only reached the 2-week mark. So I'm reliant on my parents to take me, relying on my colleagues to take me to my meetings. I'm relying on driving with Daisy. So I am reliant on a lot of people, but I would love to get my driver's license because I am 19 and I want to have the independence, but I cannot, and I completely understand why I can't get it. And even though I understand, it is still really, really hard. FND has affected the way I can communicate with people. It has made me have a speech impediment. Most people cannot tell I have one because I might not have a moment with my speech impediment while I'm talking to them, and B, I was doing some speech therapy as part of my outpatient rehab physiotherapy, so my speech impediment has gotten a lot better, but I still have my bad days, especially when my fatigue is really bad. One positive thing I can take away is the online community. I remember before I got diagnosed, people were reaching out to me. After I got diagnosed, people were reaching out to me, giving me tips and supporting me. And at that time, I was struggling a lot. My mental health wasn't good, even before I got diagnosed with FND. But when I got diagnosed with FND, it became worse because for a good 1 to 2 months, I was in bed most of the time because I could hardly walk, hardly function normally. I was using a crutch 24/7. So the online community really helped me through my bad days, and I've met so many amazing people through the FND community. I've been doing collabs with people, so the online community is amazing and I'm so grateful. But also my rehab physiotherapy team, I don't think I'll forget those people. They were so amazing and they were so determined to get me better, and they have done an amazing job, and I'll be forever grateful for their kindness and their love and their support. The way that they were cheering me on when I would tell them a milestone, it made me feel so good about myself, and I don't think I'll ever forget those amazing people, and I will always talk about them with so much grace. If you're newly diagnosed with FND, reach out on Instagram, because there is a lovely online community of FND warriors, and we will help you out. Ask questions to your medical professionals. Talk about your feelings and how you're feeling, because getting a new diagnosis can be really hard. So talk to you if you can talk to parents about how you're feeling. Maybe if you have a really best friend that understands, talk to your best friend. Come online and find the online community, because the FND community is here to support everyone, and we'll be happy to answer any of your questions. Remember, you've got this.